Here we go. Right. Welcome to the Fight Out podcast. This is episode 1. I'm El, this is Mike. Just two lads based in the UK like watching the fights. And obviously the first one we're going to break down is UFC304.
Yeah, both like talking a bit of shit about fights, so we're here to talk shit in front of you about the fights, aren't we? So see how it goes.
Fine. Okay, so we'll start at the main event then, Mike, welterweight. So we had Leon Edwards, Belal Muhammad. Obviously, it was a bit of a snooze fest, to be honest, especially at fucking 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
What did you reckon of Leon first?
What can you say? Really, that hasn't been said. I think he was disappointing, wasn't he? He looked lackluster. I don't particularly like his calls that he was tired, because he can't have been the only fella fighting on that card who was tired.
Yeah.
I think Belal came over a week out, so he's acclimatized. It's not like he came a day or two before and he was still on American time. He's acclimatized himself, and he didn't seem tired. He pressed forward the whole fight. I think Leon just wasn't himself, was he? I think we could all see that.
Yeah, it was weird, wasn't it? Like leading up to it, I remember Paddy saying the card time favours the US fighters, and I was thinking, nah, it doesn't, because they've got to come over here. And like Tom Aspinall was talking about it, and he said when he went to MSG, it was on like 2 weeks' notice, and he was like, he didn't acclimatise at all. Like he lived and there more or less, like done his media, done all that stuff, fought and come home. He was like, so, you know, now having months to prepare for like changing my sleep schedule and all that, I should be sound. But then Paddy was saying the opposite. Like Paddy was like, you know, favouring US fighters.
Yeah.
But with the way the card went, I'm thinking maybe Paddy was right. Maybe they were favoured.
Yeah, there's an element to that, but then what a counter for that is maybe their fight didn't go quite as long, did they? So obviously Tom finished his fight within a minute.
Yeah.
Paddy finished his fight in 2.5 minutes. So you don't know if they'd have gone into the deeper rounds. You might have seen them a bit sluggish and a bit slow. I personally, I thought Leon looked all right for, I'd say, the first half of the first round, and then he just looked slow. He was getting caught with shots he wouldn't get caught with. He looked like he was tired. Well, maybe there's something to be said about that. Maybe the other UK fighters would have struggled as well had the fight's gone on a little bit longer. I don't know how many of Tom's fights will go on much longer, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point, to be fair. I seen Leon's coach before, said he's carrying a back injury. Said he doesn't want an excuse, but I mean, come on, it's a load of bollocks, isn't it? It's
I think every fighter and every UFC fighter is carrying some form of injury, aren't you? I think if it was bad enough, he'd have pulled. So
yeah. I mean, Tom won the title with a back injury.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, I'm not buying that. But yeah, Leon didn't look himself. I don't know if Belal just put pace on him. Like, you know, the way it had a bit of a feel for like Leon looked a bit the way he looked against Usman in fight number 2, where he just looked like he looked like he didn't want to be there really. And then it also had a bit of like a Sean Strickland dizzy feel, where you were thinking, wow, this is mad. Like, if these fight 10 times, probably Leon would win 9. The way you would have thought dizzy, but like we were used to say with TJ and Cody as well initially. Yeah. And then it's just like, obviously Sean and Belal are 2 completely different fighters, but the 2 of them just put a pace on you. They're just always prepping you. And like maybe Leon didn't anticipate having his back to the cage so much.
I totally agree with what you're saying. I think Leon thought with his style of striking, he'd be able to slow Belal down in a way that no one else has. I thought he thought the way he picks his shots would have pushed him back. But if anything, he was picking the wrong shots, and Belal was getting more and more from it. Belal looked like he was growing as the fight went on. And to be honest, I just want to say, I've seen a lot of people saying about Belal and Leon was adding off night. I thought Belal was absolutely brilliant, to be honest. Absolutely brilliant.
Belal outstruck him.
Yeah. He looked good on the feet. Yeah, Belal only looked shaky for half of round 3. I think it was where Leon had his back. But that's not Leon's game, and he never looked in trouble. He was just riding the position, having a break, I think, Belal at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he had hands like Canelo, like, but it was...
No, I wouldn't go that far.
It was decent enough.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, Leon's not getting a rematch. I don't think he was champ for long enough. And the fight weren't close enough. So... Next for me, there's an obvious one that quite a few people have said, which is Ian Gary, with all that stuff that went around. Trained in the gym. Apparently, he got kicked out. I can't remember whether it was Ian or Leon that said no, he didn't get kicked out, he left. Like that's an obvious one with history there.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't really see a fight for Leon unless Belal's hurt and he can't defend.
I think the welterweight picture now is one of the only divisions that sort of answers for itself now. You've got to give Belal, Shavkat, and you've got to see Leon, Ian, Gary, and then the rest can fight each other. I know Usman's still in there, and he's still ranked number 2, I believe. But his last fight was at middleweight. He's coming off 2 losses, so don't know where that puts him. If he gets one good win, he's back in the title picture, given as a new champion. Don't really want to see him in Leon again if Leon gets the belt back. But if it's Belal, wouldn't mind seeing it. Two cardio animals who like a wrestler, wouldn't mind watching it. I know a lot of fans wouldn't want to watch it, but yeah, I think that in terms of the next 2 fights at the highest level of the welterweight division, I think he picked himself personally.
What about Colby?
Well, given that we're impartial on a podcast, I can't give me true opinion. I'd hope to never see him fight again. But I don't know where Colby sits really. Could you do a Colby Sean Brady fight maybe? And that's
Colby is therefore got a bit of a Dana Bollico or something.
Yeah.
His pulls tight. So what? He fought Usman twice, Leon once.
Yeah.
And other than that, he's fought Masvidal. And
I think he's got 1 win, hasn't he, from a top 15 fighter? One win over a current top 15 fighter.
Well, yeah. Well, his last 5 at Usman twice, Leon once, Masvidal.
Yeah.
And he lost 3 of them. Beat Masvidal. He's not there no more. He beat Woodley.
Who's he beat? Who's in the top 15? RDA, is that it?
Is RDA in the top 15 or welter?
I think he's 13 or 14, isn't he?
Isn't he 14 at lightweight?
Is he?
Sure.
Is he back in the lightweight rankings now?
I'm sure he was. When I was looking for it,
he might be back in the lightweight rankings now. He might have gone back down. So I can't think of he's even beaten the top 15.
I agree, but he's got something over Dana like Colby because he gets a title fight whenever he wants it.
Well, there you go. There's your answer. We can't even answer who he's beat.
Yeah, true. I mean, I think Belal, Shavkat.
Yeah.
To me, it's got to be Leon against Ian Gary. Ian Gary looks good, well, by the way.
Yeah.
Be a nice one. And
it'd be a slick striking match, and they're both well-rounded as well. So I don't know where I see the advantage in that fight, but it'd be good to see.
I think Ian Gary would stand with him completely as well. I don't think he'd wrestle like he did at EP, because I think Leon's wrestling's a lot better, and I think Ian Gary knows it. Especially if they train together, he'll know about it anyway.
Yeah,
so,
I think on Leon, for me, going into that Belal fight, I didn't see a hole in Leon's game.
No.
And I think I've seen it. I've seen it twice now, going backwards. So his striking might be brilliant, but on the front foot. When he's on the back foot, he just doesn't look as slick.
Yeah.
It's like he can't get them off him. When he's going forward, he picks the perfect shots at the perfect time. But when he's going backwards, he seems to pick the wrong shots.
I think you can pull Leon out of his game. You can sort of like fight your fight.
Yeah.
When we were saying Osati's ego fighting, he's trying to wrestle with him to try and out wrestle him to say but
I think there's something to be said for when you said before that it rings true that 9 times out of 10. I think he would beat him 9 times out of 10, and I think the worst thing was he knew that. That was the worst thing for him.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. Maybe he did completely overlook him. He talked like he did fight week, but that's the way fighters talk, but maybe he truly did. Not saying he didn't train, but maybe he didn't train specific for Belal, and he needed to, because it's just one of them styles.
Yeah.
But I feel so. Them 2 fights next lined up.
But credit to Belal while we're talking about that fight. Credit to Belal. He was impressive in the way he fights. It might not be your style that you want to watch, but he was impressive.
I couldn't watch it again like at 6 bell, but
I wouldn't particularly want to. Yeah, I wouldn't want to.
A bad performance. But then so going on to the co-main then. Big Tommy Aspinall, just fucking plowing through.
Don't even know what to say, do you? It's just...
You know what done my head in about that? We said all night first round knockout. Both done it on an accumulator, and something else on the accumulator let us down. We should have just first round knockout. It was enhanced odds and everything.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was a nap, wasn't it? Even if you bet on that every time he fights, you're gonna get it 5 out of 6 times. You might get 1 loss, but he's just incredible, to be honest. He's absolutely incredible. Don't even know what to say about him, really. And when we said then about Leon, I don't know what the hole in his game is. There isn't one in Tom's. It doesn't seem like there is one.
So on Saturday we said, didn't we, about where he ranks UK fighters, and he's number one. Talent for talent, he's number one. Skill for skill, number one. And again, like we said on Saturday, where like when you've got people on the rise and you think, you know, you've got Paddy and you think, oh, what happens if he comes up against world-class striker? What happens if Leon comes up against a world-class wrestler? Mate, if Tom Aspinall comes up against anyone, you don't even panic. I was genuine. So obviously you get a little bit nervous a bit closer to the fight, especially at heavyweight. But I was genuinely nervous that he was going to badly KO Curtis Blades. And I proper like Curtis. So I didn't see it.
Yeah, he's a likeable fella, isn't he, Curtis Blades? Likeable fighter. Got a good style as well. I do like Curtis Blades myself, but he didn't stand a chance. And I don't think any of them do. And the thing I've got with Tom Aspinall is the other UK fighters over the years, there's always kind of been someone like Conor had Khabib, he was his boogeyman. Everyone always thought he was going to beat him. The way Tom Aspinall's positioned himself now, you're talking like John Jones is the underdog, and I think he would be odds-wise. That's insane. Is the odds come out, is there?
It's American odds, so I think Tom was minus 150 and John was plus 130. So
it's close. It's close. So what's that in English? About 8 to 11.
I don't know how to convert that. What is it?
About 8 to 11 and 11 to 10, something like that. So it's close. But to go in as the favourite against the GOAT, it's wild, and at the level he's at. As you say there, in terms of UK fighters, for me, like potential and ceiling, he's number one clear. It's just body of work now, but that's only going to come over his next 10 fights.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, he's had 9 fights in the UFC. I think. Sure, I heard someone say that, and I know for a fact he's had less than 15 minutes octagon time.
Yeah,
he's had like 14 and a half minutes or something.
It's absolutely insane. He hasn't even fought 3 rounds yet, and he's had 9 fights. It's crazy, isn't it? I think he hasn't had under 40 minutes in his whole career fight time.
Yeah. Seen that.
The most impressive thing about that is how many fights is he in total? About 15, 16.
Yeah.
So in his 7 outside the UFC,
isn't he? Oh, actually, isn't it more? When he 15, going into it. So he's now.
Was he? So he's had the 18 fights, say. So in his 9 outside the UFC against a lower level of opposition, he's fought 25 minutes, and in the UFC he's fought 15.
Yeah. Well, one of them is Volkov as well, isn't it? I'm sure Volkov was a round 2 finish. So there's like 6 minutes in one fight or something.
Yeah.
So all the other ones are like a minute. The Curtis Blades was a minute. Pavlovich was far off a minute.
To be honest, I remember watching the Pavlovich fight and thinking at the time, I remember he got caught with a couple of shots and he made a little tiny adjustment, and you might not even notice it, but I thought he's made a little adjustment there. And again against Blades the other night, he made a little minor adjustment.
Yeah, he did.
Blades threw a couple of shots and he slipped off to the left and come inside and caught him with 2 big shots.
Well, hit him with a jab and then hit him with a back. The backhand didn't probably land.
It didn't need to, did it?
No.
It didn't need to.
Yeah, no, he's
to be that intelligent inside the cage is special. It is special.
And to do it with your fella.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
Yeah, he's great, isn't he? And he's a great watch as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely not his alpha, like.
The postman.
Yeah, he's John Fury's kid.
He looks like a lovely fella, though, doesn't he? His alpha.
Yeah, he's a bit, don't worry about it. He looks a belter, doesn't he, Andy Aspinall? Yeah. But, I don't see a hole in Tom Aspinall's game at all, to be honest.
I don't think anyone has yet, and I think
the only reason why I even hesitate saying it is because he's spent so little in the octagon. So you think the more he fights, you might see hole. There's obviously one that everyone picks up on that he fights. When he avoids punches, he steps back in a straight line with his chin in the air. But at the same time, people still can't hit him.
He does. But he'll never not get away with that because of how fast he is. Once his feet slow down, he might get caught. But how fast he is on his feet, there's no heavyweight in the world that can catch him as he's running backwards with his chin in the air. It doesn't matter.
He would still be very fast at light heavyweight and probably against most middleweights. Some middleweights are quite quick, but against most, I still think he'd out.
I would agree. He doesn't pack the same punches like your Ngannou or whatever, but he's as devastating easily.
Yeah, I imagine. Yeah, there's so many fights I'd love to see him in, but probably not going. Don't you think? Do you reckon we get the John Jones fight like straight up?
No.
I don't. No. I don't either.
I don't think John or Dana wants it.
I don't think Dana does yet.
Mm-hmm.
I think as much as Dana loves John Jones, he also hates him at the same time, and he'd very happily throw him to the wolves if he could. There's just not fucking a wolf big enough at the minute, apart from Tom. But
I think he protects an asset with John Jones.
I do, but then after,
because he can always come back and sell out an arena, can't he? Always come back and sell out a big fight. John Jones is a one fight every 2 years, sell it out. That's where he's at now. He's not going to come back and fight Stipe and 6 months later fight Tom Aspinall, let's be honest.
No. But I think after the Stipe fight, that could be the last one for Dana, where he's like, well, John's done everything I need him to now.
He said,
fight with Tom, and let's build a star out of Tom if he beats it. That's a win-win, really. Because even Tom beating John now without him fighting Stipe, John's still the GOAT without fighting Stipe and getting beat by Tom Aspinall. He still doesn't take away from that.
No, you don't lose your GOAT status for getting beat by an up and coming fella who's not even really in your division that you fought at for 27 fights of your 28 fight career.
It's a crazy one, like. I mean, I think John's very clever. I don't necessarily think he's not scared per se. I don't think. I think he understands the risk of the fight and he's clever. But I think he can beat anyone.
Yeah, he's putting. Although we're saying he's the underdog in the fight, he's putting 90% on the line, isn't he? In the fight, he's the champion. He's the GOAT. He's the name. He's the headliner. Like, he's putting 90% on the line. Tom's going in, and he probably thinks, I fancy myself here, and also he's got everything to lose, and I've got everything to gain. So I can see it from his angle, but the fighter inside John Jones, that fighter that was there 10 years ago, must still be there and must think I can beat him. Because let's be honest, John Jones is a winner. No matter what, John Jones is a winner. He was down and out in that Gustafsson fight and come back in the championship rounds and put a clinic on. John Jones is a winner.
Same against Reyes. He said, didn't he? Said he knew he was getting beat.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he had a conversation with himself in the middle of the fight saying, right, is this it? You're going to go out to this kid? And then he said, fuck no. I mean, that's people still argue we got beat. It was very close. Like, I wouldn't really.
It was close.
Way.
Yeah, it was close.
In the day, he got the nod, didn't he? But yeah,
it's
but I don't think we do either.
As with all sports, not just UFC, it's not just MMA. It's recency bias, isn't it? You can forget someone's body of work when you haven't been so active, and I think John Jones is rightly considered the GOAT for me.
There's recency bias right now with everyone wanting Tom to fight John. Last week,
definitely
to fight him.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden Tom's back in, so
Of course, everyone's forgot about Francis Ngannou because he's gone over to the PFL. I'll be honest, my ideal would be, I think John Jones comes through Stipe quite easily. I'd like to see Tom fight the winner of that fight, and then the winner of that fight, a super fight. All drop your egos and have a super fight, cross promotion. Francis Ngannou versus the UFC champ for all the glory. Just doesn't happen, though, does it?
There's not a chance Dana's doing that. There's too much
PFL Africa. No way.
Because let's be honest, Francis is the biggest puncher ever.
Yeah.
Imagine he lands that one. Well, let's say Tom comes through that as the champ. So you've got this new up and coming. Well, not even up and coming anymore. You know, you've got your new face.
Yeah.
Heavyweight division, heavyweight champ, all that stuff. You get bingo by Francis, who's fighting according to Dana in the B leagues.
Yeah.
Be heavy.
But we all know the real Francis Ngannou, don't we? That's just my little pipe dream. I've got a few of them.
Okay, so then moving on then. Next fight was Paddy.
Yeah.
Very, very impressive. The only way I can say it's impressive. I'll be completely honest. I had Bobby Green down to win. The closer the fight got, I was swaying towards Paddy. I know you have Paddy, but I'll be honest, first punch thrown, I still have Bobby Green. And he just absolutely, his ass fell out. And I don't even know what he was doing, shooting on Paddy.
Yeah. I think to be honest, I think Paddy's ground game, although he is known as like a jiu-jitsu specialist, his ground game does get slept on because he's English, because he's Scouse. It definitely does get slept on. he's like a legit black belt, and he's terrifying on the ground. To be honest, he's so slick. So his transitions are so slick. But yeah, I fancied Paddy all week. I know I talked you in towards the end. I think I felt you going anyway, so I jumped on it quite hard to get you involved in the Paddy all week. I fancied the Paddy submission actually. I didn't fancy it so early, but I fancied the Paddy sub. And yeah, he was an absolutely outstanding performance. I thought it was his best performance in the UFC so far. Probably the best performance of his career. Been following him since he was young, haven't we? Obviously, with him being from our city and our school even.
Yeah. Paul Rimmer said it on the. I watched a bit of his fight night vlog before Paddy, and Paul Rimmer said that he said that's the best fight. That was your best performance ever in your toughest fight ever, and he said that for Paul Rimmer himself, that was his best night since owning the gym. He said he's been waiting for a night like that, for a performance like that. So, I mean, let's be honest, top 15 at lightweight. We were going to be the rankings, mate. It is a joke of a shark tank. It's not even funny. Like, whoever he fights next is tough. Obviously, he wants Moicano, but if Moicano gets beat by BSD, surely he's got to fight BSD, and that's fucking. That's mean feed that, like.
Do you know what though? I seen you might have seen yourself. I seen Chael Sonnen talking about it and saying he thinks Paddy could be 2 fights away from a world title fight. And when you actually,
video?
I've only seen a snippet. I've only seen that little snippet. But do you know what? When you actually think about it, if he positioned himself right in the way that like Conor McGregor did on his rise, and he picked the right fights, does he say?
I'll put it to you. So Chael says, fight Chandler, swerve Moicano. Chandler's starving for a fight. He's waiting for the McGregor money, but he was basically saying he thinks Chandler to take the fight if the McGregor fight goes fully off. But when he said it, I was thinking, remember when? I mean, it was slightly different because he was number 10. But remember when Sean O'Malley entered the rankings at number 10 and he fought PLT Yan? He was number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's the same thing, innit? So
that's where I was coming at that from,
Yeah. So
other fighters at 15 need 4 or 5 fights to get a title fight. Paddy does need two good wins and he gets a title fight. And I think that could be Moicano in his next fight. I think it will be him. And then Chandler, potentially.
I think Moicano beats BSD.
It's a tough one.
So he just fights him anyway.
I think there's a world where he fights him anyway, because he'll still be ranked 12 only or whatever with Moicano. He'll still be above Paddy. So there's a world where Paddy takes that ranking, 12, 11, whatever it is, moves up to 6, fights Chandler, wins that. Because I don't think Conor's coming back to you.
Nah, I mean, I'd love to see it, but I'd be very, very surprised. Yeah. I mean, put it this way, I'd be very surprised if the Chandler fight happened, even if he did come back.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's weird, and it's like that fight's just like
he's got to fight soon now, Annie Chandler. He's got to fight soon.
Yeah. I feel a bit sorry for him, like, because he's so and obviously that, like, I don't know enough about UFC contracts or whatever, but Poirier was breaking it down, saying, you know, everyone's got a Conor McGregor clause basically, and if Chandler gets the fight, it's, you know, he's set, his kids are set, but if he doesn't get the fight now, he's entering them sort of twilight years where Poirier and all them are. He said, like, you know, it's been a lot of years there waiting for something that mightn't happen.
Yeah, as you say, if he is to come back, like, it'd be great, and it's a potential fight for Paddy as well, and a potential favourable fight for Paddy if Conor was to come back. But you just don't know, do you? You don't know where he's at. But anyway, back onto Paddy, the main reason we're talking about this division. To be honest, I thought although his hands might not necessarily be his biggest weapon, I think his kicks are absolutely brilliant. I think his kicking gets slept on.
Yeah, I mean, I watched him. It was only highlights, but I watched the highlights back, and I think the reason why Bobby Green's shot is because his legs were fucked. Paddy
100%.
4 or 5 times in the highlights.
Yeah, we were saying that on the night, weren't we? They were saying Paddy was throwing calf kicks and Bobby was throwing like them oblique kicks, them side oblique kicks onto the knee, and they weren't really landing. And every one of Paddy's was landing flush, and then he threw an inside kick, and it looked like it hurt him, an inside leg kick. And then obviously Bobby, or King Green, or whatever you want to call him, Bobby, he shot Roberts, in and just got caught. Roberts.
Funny that.
Yeah, he shot in and got caught.
That way it was funny, you know. Yes, Roberts, calm down.
He's great, isn't he? He brings some great value. Like, I love him, I'll be honest.
that major Chip Haddon shout was getting some love off Oscar Willis in the Mac Life.
That killed me off. That absolutely killed me off.
Oscar Willis tweeted it and said it's sort of like it needs to get recognition how good this shout was. Should put the pictures next to each other.
It's one of them, innit, where like your mate says something like that in the pub, and it's brilliant, but only to your friendship group. You've got to be on that. You've got to be on that the wavelength to get it. Like it was a great shout.
It was It was like
it's one where you go away if you're that Kaylan and you're googling him and you're going, do I actually look like him? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You're shrugging it off, but you're like, you bastard.
Yeah, I've had a few of them in my life, like Pitbull being one.
Remember it, Miguel Cotto?
I just took them all. Rodney Trotter.
Edit that out. He convinced you look like Miguel Cotto.
I used to go home and shadow box.
But just to say back to what you said before as well about Paddy being underrated. I think you hit the nail on the head, to be honest, because he's English. They don't think his ground game is as good as an American ground game. So we think, he's a black belt, but he's not a black belt in Enzo Gracie or whatever, or in this gym and that gym, where he is legit. He's a legitimate black belt.
Yeah.
And to shoot on him is absolutely crazy. Being the man that Bobby Green hadn't been submitted since 2009, not to be a little stat, I was seeing it on Twitter. Obviously, he's went for the takedown to think, mate, he's fancied himself. I also potentially compromised, but he fancied himself. And then when he's got on the ground, he's gone from guillotine to triangle, went out under the triangle, and then got armbarred. Like, the transition was ridiculous.
Well, that's what impressed me so much about Paddy on the weekend. Like, he was deep on a guillotine. He could have submitted him on the guillotine. Like, he was clever enough to transition and then transition again. I mean, he was well out by the time the armbar went in, but but that's irrelevant. You finish your opponent, don't you?
Yeah. He said the guillotine was deep, thinks he could have finished it, but he used the triangle better, which is why he went to the triangle. Not even because he was worried, he just went to it because he liked it.
And that's how high level he is operating at on the ground.
Yeah, but he's mad though, and he's got like proper spider legs where they're just.
He's one of the most. He's one of the most flexible fighters I've ever seen. Like,
he's weirdly flexible, like, but obviously in a very, very good way. But I was shocked. I was shocked he won that fight. But I won't be betting against him ever again. Like, I think.
What did Nate say that time? I'm not surprised. I'm not, mate. I'm not. I think I said earlier in the week, didn't I? I feel like Paddy's one of them people who has the level steps, E-steps.
Yeah.
And I genuinely think that's the case. Like,
yeah, I still think if he could cut to featherweight, he's got a much easier run to a belt in featherweight. But like you've said, like Charles said, 2 fights away probably from a title shot at lightweight. Just obviously the division itself is absolutely ridiculous. Yeah,
the killers, aren't they? I don't foresee him ever making 145 again. Like, I think.
I'm just thinking like division wise.
He's a big lightweight now. Let's see him like next to Bobby Green. He's a big lightweight.
He looks big, isn't it? Like, he looks. Yeah. No, like when you see the pictures midweek when they do the short photos and stuff on the Wednesday or the Thursday. Yeah. And obviously he's still cutting weight and then he's in the cage. But look at them pictures side by side. He is absolutely massive in the cage. Like his shoulders and all that are like broad. His arms look massive again. On them fight ones, he looks half like skinny a bit.
Yeah. He is a big lightweight. He is a big lightweight. He's tall, he's rangy, he's a big lightweight.
Yeah. And then so moving on to the rest of the card then, just before we wrap this up for the first episode. Obviously, we had Molly get beat. We had Nathaniel Wood looking quite good for most of the fight. Got himself a little bit stuck, didn't he? In the third round. Big Mick Parkin got the unexpected bonus. Naughty knockout, mate. Absolutely ridiculous knockouts. And then other than that, it didn't really set the world alight, did it?
It didn't know, and what you've touched on there were probably the highlights. Thought, to be honest, Arnold Allen deserves a shout out.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, Arnold Allen
looked good. Nathaniel Wood, think that going up a weight has benefited them hugely. You were on the night, you were the prelim specialist. Think you called all the prelims, right, didn't you?
Yeah, we got the best up for the prelim, but the main part, like
you were reeling off prelim fighters I've never heard of.
But yeah, it's that, didn't I?
Yeah, some brilliant picks, but yeah, I thought out of the prelims, like I was quite impressed with Arnold Allen. A bit of adversity in the first round, and then shoulders level, I thought.
Yeah, I like Mick Parkin because I mean I obviously know him through watching Tom Aspinall and like sort of following the and stuff. I had a little look back at his fights. I'd seen him fight once before, and he's a bit of a decision merchant, like, so to him get a big knockout, the only other finish on the card, boss,
yeah.
Don't know what someone like him makes money wise, but a 100k bonus can't be chump change to him, like
100%. It's why you like to see the early fighters and the prelim fighters getting the bonuses. I always like to see that because you think the fighters at the top end of the card tend to be making a little bit more anyway. Not that they don't deserve the money, obviously, but it's nice to see. It's nice to see.
Yeah, no, it is. It's boss. I've seen there's a boss little video with Tom Aspinall. He finds like Tom Aspinall sitting with his alpha fella in the change.
Yeah.
He finds out he's got a 100k bonus. He's like, oh great, the 100k bonus. That like, he doesn't get excited, does he? And then someone goes, Mick got one, and he's like, oh Mick, jumps and bells him right away. But it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. That makes us.
Is he? That's what type of fella you can tell Tom is, isn't it?
He bells him. He's like, if you heard the news, you got the bonus. Mick's going, nah, you're lying, and like they're all so made up for him. It's boss.
It's great to see things like that, and it's great to see. I thought of the prelim fight as well. I thought I was disappointed for Molly. Like, she was another one I didn't think looked herself, but obviously that low shot she took, you don't know what that's taken out of her. It was a horrible one. That, like,
to be fair to that Bruna Brazil, now I seen a fight. She was on Ting Yong's undercard, weren't she? She was on the same card when Aspinall won the belt.
Yeah, she was. Yeah,
I seen a fight, Shauna Bannon on that card. Yeah. She looked good. At the time, I thought Shauna Bannon didn't look herself.
Yeah.
On Saturday night, it was the same thing. Bruna Brazil looked good, and I thought Molly didn't look herself. But you've got to give a nod to her, like, and just say, you know what, she must be quite good. She's quite tall as well. She's quite long.
Definitely, and you do sometimes get surprised by these fighters, and then the next thing they're up in the rankings and they're up near the top, and you're surprised by it. Like, I know it was not so long ago Molly fought Erin Blanchfield, and obviously there's a lot of talk about her, but I didn't realise how good she was until the fighters. You can get surprised by these fighters, and I think sometimes in the women's division they can just sneak up and climb the rankings quite quickly.
Yeah, I mean there was 2 body kicks. I think it was in the first round.
Yeah,
after Molly got kneed as well.
Yeah,
sun don't shine. There was 2 body kicks, mate. That was like looked like they were going to end the fight. So Molly, she's done well to even stay in there, to be honest.
One was pretty horrific, and like I think maybe that might be what separates Bruna Brazil from the top level, because I think a killer would have got her out of there. One of them was a brutal body kick.
Yeah, to be fair, I know what you're saying, but Molly's a little bit of an AD, isn't she?
She is, but I didn't see that killer instinct from Bruna Brazil, is what I'm saying. I didn't see her go all out for the finish, but maybe she didn't need to. Maybe she wanted the round. Maybe she wanted. I don't know. You don't know, do you?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Like, the way in a killer instinct there. I just think I do think Molly's very hard to get out of there.
Yeah, she is.
She had that eye, the big friggin' baseball.
Yeah. I seen an interesting comment today. I think it was from Nick P, to be fair, about Molly, saying maybe she's like not meant to be sort of a title fighter. She's supposed to be kind of a flag bearer for women's MMA, and as kind of not offensive, but that's not what Molly will see herself as. But in years to come, Molly might be sort of a Bisping without the title. Do you know, if you get what I'm saying? Bisping obviously won the world championship, but sort of a flag bearer for British MMA, for women's British MMA.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know her personally, but I can't imagine if she doesn't at least fight for the title, I think she'll end the career disappointed.
Yeah.
If she gets there, you know, she climbs the mountain. Maybe she doesn't quite get the winning again for the title, but I think if she doesn't fight for the title, she will be disappointed.
Yeah. Again, same as Paddy. I really hope she does. She's from our city. I really hope she does. I don't want that to be it for her. I know she said she's going to take some time out. I don't want that to be it for her because I think she's looked good. She's looked really good since she's gone down. Her conditioning looks great.
Yeah.
And I think there will have been a severe impact of that low blow. So I'm hoping that's not the last we see of Molly, definitely.
Yeah. No, I agree. Okay. Well, just before we wrap up then, what are we thinking of Uncle Dana's comments on the UK fighters and the time not mattering and all that?
To be honest with you, there was a couple of things Dana said, wasn't there, over the weekend that ruffled a few feathers, and I don't particularly like it. I didn't like his comments about Makayev as well, but maybe we'll touch on that after. I think to put on a UK MMA show and put it on pay-per-view on US time is criminal in itself.
Yeah.
We get one card a year if we're lucky, and it's still on US time. There was people asleep in the audience. What does Dana expect? There's people asleep in the audience. There's fighters fighting at 6 o'clock in the morning. It's just ridiculous, to be honest. Then for them to come out and have a go at the fighters who are sort of putting their life on the line is insane, to be honest.
I agree. I mean, what we said before about Leon, you know, we're not having that he's tired as an excuse.
Yeah.
We're definitely not having an excuse because every fighter was like that. Every UK fighter was like that. But the problem that I've got with what Dana said is he shoved it off as not a factor. 100% it's a factor. Whether you can have it as a valid excuse is a different argument altogether, but you can't brush it off as not a factor, mate. It's not, you're not fighting peak performance between 3 and 6 in the morning, which is obviously what the main card was.
Of course, you're not. And I think that, although I said before, I don't want to contradict myself, but although I said before about other fighters had to handle the time and stuff, obviously Leon's fight style needs him to be at peak condition. He's a sniper, and he needs to be peak mental and physical condition. There's other people, specifically people like Belal, who can sort of grind and get themselves going, but Leon needs to be on it from the first second, and he wasn't.
Yeah, no, to be fair, that's a good point. It's a bit like McGregor, isn't it? Like he's not the same style, but he is. But he's got the big left hand. Obviously, Leon's got the high kick and a lot of other stuff as well. But he does need to be peak. That's actually quite a good shout. And at the end of the day, sleep and all these things, they affect everyone different. So you can't.
Of course, you do that.
But yeah,
and on the back of that, he's the last fight after watching 2 other English superstars go out and do the business. That will have weighed heavy on him as well if he's already got in his head, I'm a little bit tired here. And then them 2 have gone out and done the business, he's probably thinking, why weren't they tired? Am I more tired than them? You just don't know, do you?
Yeah. I mean, you know what? I've actually never thought of that. Like, so Tom come out and said he was tired.
Yeah.
I heard Paddy say anything. I've heard a few of the other fighters say it was quite tough. But yeah, Leon was the last fighter. I know that sounds mad, but I've never actually thought of that. So obviously he's been up the longest. Like he's been waiting the longest. So obviously he's got the highest chance of being tired. Obviously so is Belal. But Belal's hungry, and Belal didn't have the belt. Belal probably knew that was his only chance for the title, let's be honest. It's so many to get there, and that was probably his one and done.
I think it was. I think it would have been Leon's as well when he fought Usman for the second time. I think that would have been his one and done. I think Leon now will get another chance at it because I think he will put another few wins together. I hope he does. But yeah, but back to what we were actually talking about, the comments. I just thought, I think it's in his nature, isn't it, to sort of throw fighters under the bus. He tends to have as a bit of a tendency. It's like sort of dummies out the pram, isn't it, for want of a better phrase? Like he tends to throw fighters under the bus when he's not happy with how a card's performed. Even the main event. Yeah, I've seen him have a little jab at the main event, saying it wasn't a barn burner. Well, you've got a new champion from a part of the world that needs a champion. Do you know what I mean? Like he's from an oppressed group that needs a champion. He should be celebrating that, but he's more bothered about whether it's a barn burner or not. And I think he does have a little tendency to sort of throw fighters under the bus, which I don't particularly like. Yeah,
I mean, obviously Dana sometimes needs to think of where his bread's buttered a bit because he loves talking about the UK and he loves saying, "Oh, you need to watch a fight in the UK." Give it to that a fucking normal time, then, mate.
Yeah.
Can't watch a fight in the UK if you're a kid. 6
Obviously,
pounds.
you've got better experience than me. You've been to a couple of UK events yourself. I've not got to one yet, but it didn't seem like it had the same pop as other UK events I've watched on the
No,
TV. Like it didn't seem like
no,
it did to me.
100%. It never.
Yeah,
100%. I mean, the other events were in London, which personally I think if you'd done a up north card with them fighters that were on it, you know,
yeah,
Molly's, Paddy's, Tom.
yeah,
If you'd done a northern card with them fighters at a normal time, it'd probably rival that McGregor card in Dublin, to be honest with you.
yeah,
The
yeah,
London ones were very, very good. Don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking them. But obviously, everyone's still going down there. There'll be more Northerners on a Northern
yeah.
card than there will be a London card. But yeah, I mean, the time killed it. I'd be very surprised if he come back and done it at that time again. Like, even though he wouldn't admit that he was
Well,
wrong.
I was about to say that'll be your telltale. He won't never say he's wrong. But if the next UK MMA event or next UK UFC event, I should say, is at that time, I would be surprised, very surprised.
Yeah, shame. Okay, well that's it. I feel like that's a nice little place to end the first one, mate.
Yeah, happy days. Enjoyed that.
Love it. Yeah, shame. Well, for the 3 people that might be watching, throw us a like, throw us a comment, throw us a subscribe, and we'll get the next videos.
Hopefully one of them isn't Tom Aspinall's dad, because he might be coming for you.